Hey guys, today is a Sunday. It is December 13th, 2015. We are going to be reading in Thessalonians. So we're going to be reading Acts chapter 17, verses 5 through 15. Then we're going to read a daily devotional. I had church this morning. I had a friend go with me. It was amazing. He's from a Catholic church, and it was nice. It was a perspective I didn't realize. He said that the church there and where he's from is very much serious and much more driven for or geared towards God, and he didn't like the relaxedness and the non-traditional type of religion. So, but see, what I tried to tell him is that it isn't about religion; it's about God. It's about religion is man-made, and it's Christianity's God, a follower of God. And so we do have a language barrier, so things get a little bit lost in translation. But it was interesting because he is right. There is a certain respect that goes with being a Christian. And he said, why isn't the church like a beautiful church? And I said, well, it's not really about what it looks like. It's about what's inside. He said, well, if you love God, why wouldn't you want to build him the most beautiful? He's right. Okay, so that's a little bit of what the Catholics think about our church, the non-denominationals that I go to. I think that the Word of God speaks to you, that you go to church to be around fellow Christians, and that you live to a pastor because he's been doing it his whole life. And so, yes, it is important to know where you sit, but for me, they have a really great worship team, and he was explaining, the pastor was explaining about how it is the same as when God, if you're plucking an instrument, that's how God does or makes you feel when you sing to him and worship to him. So, well, it is kind of true. I mean, to be real, I don't feel as whole as I do as when I'm worshiping. So, and our greatest worshiper of the Bible is David, so we can't hope to be just like him. Okay, verses 5 through 15. But the other Jews, this is Acts chapter 17, verse 5 through 15. But the other Jews were jealous, so they rounded up some bad characters from the marketplace, formed a mob, and started a riot in the city. They rushed to Jason's house in search of Paul and Silas in order to bring them out of the crowd. But when they did not find them, they dragged Jason and other believers before the city officials, shouting, "These men who have caused trouble all over the world have now come here, and Jason has welcomed them into his house. They are all defying Caesar's decrees, saying that there is no other king, one called Jesus." When they heard this, the crowd and the city officials were thrown into turmoil. Then they made Jason and others post bond and let them go. As soon as it was night, the believers sent Paul and Silas away to Berea. On arriving there, they went to the Jewish synagogue. Now the Berean Jews were a more noble character than those in Thessalonica, for they received the message with great eagerness and examined the scriptures every day to see if Paul was true. As a result, many of them believed, as did and also a number of prominent Greek women and Greek men. But when the Jews in Thessalonica learned that Paul was preached the word of God at Berea, some of them went there too, agitating in the crowd, stirring them up. The believers intimidately sent Paul to the coast, but Silas and Timothy stayed in Berea. Those who escorted Paul brought him to Athens and then left him instructions for Silas and Timothy to join him as soon as possible. All right, so our daily devotion is art that matters. Art is often meant to simply entertain. It can soothe our frazzled nerves. It can help us escape the pressures of our day. However, as you take inventory of your life and consider how better to live for what matters, you will want to take a look at your artistic diet. How much of the entertainment that you have consumed is junk food, and how much actually enriches your soul? It's not always about being Puritan when it comes to the content, or about throwing out all of your silly comedies for PBS documentaries. It's about eating a balanced diet. In many books, music, movies, plays, and paintings, the artist's chief goal is to inspire us to wrestle with the ponder of the life that matters. These can be spiritual works, works that teach us something we didn't know about the human condition, works that educate, works that elevate, works that remind us and where we're meant to be, and where remind us what we were meant to be creators too. Remind us that we were meant to be creators too. The highest art is always the most religious, and the greatest artist is always a devout person. It's the truth. That's the flippin' truth. Michelangelo. Yeah. They always have God. Greatest people in the world. God. Alright, so tomorrow we're going to read verses 16 through 32 when they go into Athens. Alright, thank you so much for listening. Had a blessed day and hope you do too.